So today we are going to build the BioSyn main complex from the Jurassic World Dominion trailer that just dropped yesterday, and you can see on screen how it looks, but now let's get started. Alright, so in today's video we are going to build the BioSyn main complex, as I just said, and you know, I just saw the trailer and I saw also in addition a wonderful tweet by Mr. Swiver, and he was tweeting about the main complex of BioSyn. I was like, you know, I just think I can do this. I think there is potential to rebuild this in Jurassic World Evolution 2, of course, with the help of some mods. So if you guys are interested to see more of this in the future, I would be more than happy if you could support me by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I'm definitely trying to do more of that in Jurassic World Evolution 2, as for where it's possible, because as we all know, the tools are somewhat limited, but I think the trailer indeed gave a bit of a glimpse to why certain things are the way they are. You know, because the game obviously goes in line with the movie, and we've all been guessing already quite intensively, so to say, about the facts why certain things are the way they are. Let's say the campaign, for example, why the campaign just kind of feels like stopping right where it's, you know, supposed to be starting. And also about certain, you know, areas, locations and stuff. So all of this is because of the movie, and certainly because of the pandemics and the delay. I'm quite certain that this played a little bit into the fact that they had to scrap some things from the initial game as it was planned, I guess. So yeah, a couple of things that they needed to do. Anyhow, this is definitely something I wanted to talk about for a while, because I thought, you know, as soon as we see the trailer, I guess certain things will be a bit more obvious. And now I guess the building style and stuff will be a lot more, you know, in line with what we will see in the final movie. As, for example, this building from BioSyn over here. That said, this build, of course, is made with a couple of mods. And if you guys want to know which kind of mods I am using, just so you know, I'm using basically all the advanced building tools. That means the Freebuild mod, I'm using the expanded Sandbox mod, and also the expanded, what was the other thing? Terrain mod, exactly. And then we have, of course, the wonderful new foliage mod as well. So I'm using these 4 mods together to create this over here. Most of which still is created with the base game. Buildings, of course, just, you know, having no hitbox helps a lot. And you know, a couple of things I tested, a couple of things needed to be addressed. For example, saving everything. And you can see it, you know, it looks kind of smooth and easy on screen right now by placing these things down. But trust me, it took me so long to put these things down, and I really wish that Frontier is going to embed an option to hold down shift to put multiple buildings down at once. It's a very, very common feature in so many building games, and I'm really not sure why they didn't. It's, you know, always going back to the menu to select the building is kind of weird thing to do, but I had to do, and so this is just how it works. And I ended up using this Jurassic Park styled tower to build the walls of this entire thing. I framed it all with the monorail to give it all this, you know, this wonderful roundish appeal. I didn't do it perfectly roundish because I couldn't tell from this very brief shot in the video if it is like a perfect circle or if it's a bit of an oval or if it's, I don't know, you can't really tell. It's like a half circle, is it not? So a couple of things are not really that easy to get from this perspective, and so, you know what, I just thought I went for the easy solution, and that being going for exactly that one shot that we have in the movie. And so I decided to make the form a little bit different so that it looks good later on when I'm taking a screenshot. Like, this is just built for the screenshot, and there's no functionality other than we have a mosasaur at the end, but in the shot of the movie we don't even see a dinosaur. I'm assuming that this is a gigantic breeding factory. There's no other reason to why the wonderful lake is connected there. But we are back also to the comment of the episode. This time around, it's a wonderful comment speaking about the console version of Planet Coaster. Just said, God knows how this is programmed. And honestly, I want to take this as a positive, because I think, speaking about Jurassic World Evolution 2, makes a lot of sense in this context, because I think Frontier learned a whole lot from their experience with Jurassic World Evolution 1 on the consoles, making them yeah, just gather the skills to bring Planet Coaster to the console. And I played the console version for a bit at the beginning, did some tutorials and stuff. And I know there might be some different opinions out there, but my personal opinion, having played a lot of console building games, I must say that the Planet Coaster solution, how they ported that to the console, is one of the best I've played. Like, I've played Theme Park on PlayStation, was it 1 or 2? I don't know. I played the Lego games and stuff like that. They never really got me because it was so hard to do on the console. But eventually, I found Planet Coaster Console after a couple of minutes of adjusting, relatively easy going and very nice. And this is also the reason why I still believe that they could have gone a lot more in detail with Jurassic World Evolution 2, because they showed that they have the capabilities to bring certain building elements to the console version without making it overly complex for the player. This is why I'm extremely sad about certain decisions made in terms of, building freedom in this game, and I thought this comment would be a very perfect segue to give me the space to talk about that very briefly, because making buildings like that eventually look pretty good is satisfying, don't get me wrong, but it would be so much more rewarding if we had a bit more control. Just get, we all know there is an IP behind that, and IPs have to be tackled in certain ways, but it would be so cool to be able to build just a little bit more with a bit more modular pieces, and that would be really cool. Anyways, maybe the future holds some surprises for us. But I don't want to complain, because the game still is able to deliver some cool stuff, as you can see here with the building. Of course, I used a lot of different buildings for a different purpose, using the control center, I believe it is over here, to make like a wonderful cut to the back of the complex over here. As you've seen, I've used some of the K-pop trees to make sure that we have enough greenery on the roof being framed by the monorail track, which I believe is the best way to do it. And then in the middle, I had some of these, I forgot the name of these trees, that have this wonderful, lovely kind of top layer of leaves, making it really almost like looking like a carpet, which is basically the moss that you have on the roof. I'm not even sure if that's moss. It's like such a gigantic roof of this BioSyn complex that it could easily be also some bushes or whatnot, so can't really tell. But normally you do have moss and stuff on these complexes to have some heat management and stuff like that, which I believe is badly needed. Talking about the design of this building, I think since this is, if I'm not completely wrong, this should be located in Cupertino in California. I took Yosemite map because that's the closest I could get to. And if we all look back to who is also sitting in Cupertino, which is Apple, and then referring to the Apple complex, how the new one is looking, I think there are some interesting similarities in the design, I should say. Like this circular build in the middle, the complex seems to have like a bit of a recreation area and the arrival area. And, certain things just feel like there is a huge inspiration by this. But it makes sense that this is BioSyn in this case. I thought that people were arguing this could be also something else, but I think it's a very good call to say that this is BioSyn, because again, the background and stuff, everything screams like California and screams like Cupertino. That makes a lot of sense, and it also makes a lot of sense that it is BioSyn. So yeah, marking another return from the first movie. So there's a lot of things that speak the language of BioSyn here, and so I guess it's fair to assume that this is it. But again, I think the complex, with having that many heat regulation and stuff like that on top, is really necessary, because if you have like all the breeding and stuff going on in this complex and the research, you need a lot of energy, like a whole lot of energy, and you potentially will also use a whole lot of cooling and all these kind of things, again, very much needed. So yeah, that's something I guess they translated very well into this design. And of course it has to have a bit of a coolness factor, assuming that with the new movie being a little bit ahead of time from the events of the Fallen Kingdom, things have happened and money was made, I guess, with all the creatures and stuff. So that's fair to say that it makes sense to have such a huge laboratory complex, whatever this is, I guess it makes a lot of sense. And then also the connection to the river marks another good example to why this definitely seems to be something with breeding and stuff involved. Yeah, you can see here I'm using also some mods and some tricks to make this all appear a bit more natural, so that the lagoon doesn't look like a lagoon anymore. It looks really like the river, but I wanted to take that so we can actually have the mosasaurs in. And honestly though, I feel like this build is one of my best ones I have done in here. So you can also let me know in the comments down below how you like this, and if you have found another theme in the trailer that you think could be rebuilt. I figured this one could be the easiest one to do. It's not perfect, but I think for the time given, the job being done is kind of cool. But let's have a look how that all looks in the real game. So let's jump over. Alright, so here we are actually in the real-time part. You can see the helicopter just going towards this wonderful complex over here. And of course, this is by no means super accurate, but I like the fact how this all turned out to be looking in the end. So we do have this complex here as a central element. If we zoom all the way out, you can see it is all staged, obviously. So there's this. And if we look at the shot in the movie, there's also like a waterfall in behind. So you can get a very nice view towards this location. So the waterfall here is in the back. In the movie, it's kind of like here, down here. The entrance and stuff, everything looks like a lot more bulky, a lot more concrete driven. And of course the roof is a lot more, you know, towards like moss and stuff. But again, there is like really not that much you can do with it. And if I would have done this in Planco though, or Planet Zoo, or even Prehistoric Kingdom, it would have taken me, I don't know, a month to finish this, because you can go so much in detail that my inner monk would have told me to really do it 100% accurate. And this is actually not the case here, but it still looks pretty good, right? Doesn't it? So I really like it. You can see there's like a weird dent in here, which is down to the fact that I needed to play with perspectives a bit. Let me just quickly show you what I mean by this. So if you look from over here to get the shot right, I needed to get this straight back. And if you look from this angle, it looks like the perfect illusion, as if this is the perfect dimensions. I played also with trees a little bit, you know, to give it this kind of shape, and it's just a matter of perspective to look at that, so that you have this coming in as it seems like being in the middle, going a bit here from the right. The movie kind of framing is a little bit different. They have a different angle to look at it, with zoomed in from the camera and stuff, so I needed to pay tribute to that a little bit, and hence I decided to have this form over here that, you know, as you can see from above, looks a bit different, making that a bit wider and making this a bit more narrow to the back, so to make this appear as if this goes to the back a little bit more straight and flat, because I couldn't work so well with the slopes, and so this is like a little bit of an illusion as if this is going towards here, you know. That's, I hope you understand what that means. Like it's just an optical illusion, that's all it is. And this is why I did this, but I think it looks kind of cool. I think it really looks as if this could be a map. What did I even do here? As if this is a map that you could start building an actual park in. Like this is the main complex in the middle, right? And then you can have some paddocks around and stuff. You just kind of go out of the creative, capture mode here. As you can see, there is obviously still a lot of space in which you could build a ginormous, area in if you want. This map in general, like the Yosemite map, is ridiculously big. It's really, really, really enormous. I love it. It's really cool. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it, and you can see I'm really trying to make the best of it now here. So really, this mountain over here is also made by me to frame this a bit better, to have that like in. And yeah, so overall, I'm super happy with how this turned out. I really would love to hear from you guys how you like it. You have also, you know, there's our Mosasaurus, so you can have this shot. I mean, there are a couple of shots that look freaking gorgeous, if you ask me. Like even considering that this is just like from the movie build, but there's so much you can do with it. Also, the little trick to use the foliage to make like a riverbank works kind of neat. Like, not gonna lie, it's looking kind of cool. You can even get this better if like this is tiny bit floating. I didn't even realize that, but you could obviously now go in. Let's go down here, make that big, and make the intensity all the way down. This is, yeah, there you go. And then you can just click that a little bit into the water here. There you go. Just a tiny bit down. There you go. and then it looks even better. And let me do the same over here. Just that tiny bit more into the water. There you go. And all of a sudden, it looks almost like a river rather than the lagoon. You just have to hide the rest here. I think it looks kind of cool. I think I will use this trick in some of my other builds because that really looks like a riverbank, and that really makes the lagoon so much more natural, so much more nice looking. And I just like it. I just like it. So you can make so cool things with the mod and the foliage. I just wish Frontier would give us this as a vanilla feature as well, because it just looks so freaking stunning. Let me just try to find the exact angle here on which the movie shot was taken. It's really hard to find, to be honest, because it had such an interesting angle, but I think, you know, I succeeded in building it almost like inch perfect. We can also do something else now. Let me just grab the helicopter and do the direct control again to make that one shot, and then we end this today. If I remember, I will blend the shot actually into the top right or somewhere, so you can see that we align that perfectly to this shot. So I'm not really entirely sure where I need to fly to have that angle, but this time around I tried to bring the helicopter a little bit further here. So let's bring this around. There you go. And I think I'm just going to take that here and then go all the way to the front. Let's wait until is it going in? Yes. So that is, maybe we can do it with this shot. Maybe we have to go down a little and wait until it's down a little bit more. There you go. This is the shot. This is a lot closer to what we have. So the helicopter is indeed a bit more in. And now I think what we need to do, we have to go all the way cropped in and then have the heli on the right hand side. There you go. Now we are talking, guys. Now we are talking. I think this is pretty much as best as we can get it. This is as best as we can get it. Really nice shot, I guess. This is a really good shot. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. There you go. So I can crop also my file in. Anyways, I think this is a brilliant shot. This is how much we can get to it. And yeah, I'm really happy with the build. I hope you guys are too. Let's just jump into the helicopter and fly back. Hello? Helicopter? There you go. It's direct control. We can just have a little look around here. It's actually so OP how the helicopter is moving the trees. Look at that. It's gonna go down. I'm revealing what is below. There you go. There you go. You can just basically look in. It's pretty realistic, but it's a bit OP, isn't it? It's a bit very strong. Also with these custom trees, can we fly into these? Oh boy, we can. Because they seem to have no... That is interesting. That's very good to know. I can do some stuff with this, I guess. Yeah, never mind. It's long enough. I made it way too long. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. Me fiddling around with making the perfect shot. Never mind. So, in case you guys want to see more of this, please let me know in the comments down below. I would be more than happy if you guys could consider subscribing if you haven't already. That really helps me out. And let me know what was your favorite scene from the trailer. Did you love it as much as I did? And are you looking forward to the movie? I am. So hopefully you are too. And now wishing you a wonderful weekend. Talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.